Hey everyone, this video is going to be quite different to most of the content on my channel, which is of course purely informational and quite edited. This video is just going to be very rambly, just me and you talking, and it's because over the past couple of years you will have seen that there's been a very significant reduction in the amount of content that I am actively posting on the channel. Prior to Black Ops Cold War, I was posting practically almost every single day without fail. However, the past couple of years for Call of Duty, particularly if you are a Call of Duty Zombies fan, has been a great struggle, not just as a consumer and a regular player, but particularly as a content creator, especially as a Zombies content creator. My channel has always been focused around Call of Duty. I've ran other channels, I've done other things, but this particular channel has always been centered around Call of Duty. I've dabbled a little bits in other games here and there, but obviously over the past couple of years, as a Zombies fan, it's been very rough because we had Vanguard Zombies, which was absolutely disastrous. I do think there were some elements of Vanguard Zombies that were good, such as some lore elements and even some very minor gameplay decisions I think were pretty profound. And I think Shinonuma Reborn and the Archon were okay, but the overall Vanguard Zombies experience just should have never released. It was just an absolute catastrophe, and has tarnished the Call of Duty Zombies name and brand immeasurably. We'll be feeling the repercussions and the ripple effects of Vanguard Zombies for years to come. Even if Call of Duty Zombies makes a big comeback, we'll be feeling those effects for years, definitely. Vanguard Zombies will always be that black stain on the community that we kind of just like to forget about. And then, of course, over the past year, we've had Modern Warfare 2, which I don't think has really been that great of a game. It's been surrounded by controversy. And of course, again, as a Zombies fan, there's not really been anything interesting for me. I tried out, obviously, DMZ, which I guess is the kind of Zombies alternative, although it's, I think, more catering towards Battle Royale fans and Warzone fans. But I guess it kind of has that Zombies itch a little bit, or scratches that itch a little bit, especially if you are a fan of Outbreak from Cold War Zombies. And like I said at the start, this video is going to be very rambly. I don't really have anything in particular, a particular subject that I want to talk about. I just kind of want to talk about my general consensus regarding my channel and how I'm currently feeling regarding posting. So back in the day, I used to force myself to post content regularly a lot more, but as my channel has grown and I've been matured a little bit and I've been doing it for a lot longer, I now just try and post whenever I have the motivation and energy. And whilst I do sometimes try and force out content, especially if I have deadlines for certain things, obviously because this has become a job, I kind of need to do that to some extent, but for the most part I just post whenever I am interested in now. And because most of my content is surrounding news and informational type stuff or storyline type stuff, over the past couple of years it's been very rough because interest in Vanguard was of course really low, especially for Zombies. Moving over to Modern Warfare 2, the game sold amazingly on launch, but the player base has depleted quite consistently. And even if that wasn't the case, there just isn't really much interesting for me personally to make videos on. I will post whenever there's any storyline information. So whenever there's a new raid added to the game, I'll talk about the storyline, or if there's anything, added to the story in DMZ or even in Warzone or the seasonal cutscenes I think is interesting, I will talk about it. But I haven't really been posting news and informational videos like I used to do. And a big part of that is because I'm not even playing the game. Basically what happens is, every time there's a new update for Modern Warfare 2, a new piece of content, every time there's a seasonal update or a mid-season update, I hop on the game and I play it for a few hours. I try out each piece of new content once. For example, when Ashika Island released, I played, Ashika Island a few times on DMZ, and I exfilled. And then after that, I was like, what is the point to this? I just have no motivation or desire to play again. And personally, I just don't really see the appeal in extraction shooters. I am grateful for you if you enjoy them, and by all means go ahead and have fun, but personally they just aren't for me. And right now a lot of people are thinking that extraction shooters are going to be the next big thing. Now that battle royales are dying down, they think extraction shooters are going to be the next big wave. And personally, I just don't see that. I think they will have a bit of a come up, but I don't think they're going to reach anywhere near the heights of Battle Royale. I think that's a very, very unique phenomenon that has completely decimated and ripped through the gaming scene at extreme speeds. And in such a huge momentum. But this video isn't really talking about DMZ in particular. What I mainly want to say is over the past couple of years, there's just been nothing interesting for me to talk about in videos apart from storyline stuff. Whenever there's any big announcement, I will talk about it, such as the next Call of Duty game, Modern Warfare 3 getting leaked. Of course, I made a video on it. And typically what I am doing right now is, as I was saying, I will check out the new COD content whenever a new season or mid-season update drops. I play it once, and then I have no motivation to try it out again. I have no desire to boot up my PlayStation. I have no desire to even turn it on. I just don't really see any reason to keep playing. I think that Call of Duty has just been very, very bland over the past couple of years. And Black Ops Cold War, I really do think, was the last COD that left its true mark and had a lot of great innovations, particularly and mainly with zombies. I think that was a huge comeback for zombies that year. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I do think it was a good comeback, and it kept me very interested for that year, especially regarding the storyline and what was going to be coming next. And speaking of that, I am really interested and excited to see where the storyline heads next with COD 2024 Zombies, the sequel to Cold War Zombies. But that's generally where my head is at. The last couple of years have been so bland, so bland. Everything Call of Duty has released has been extremely mediocre and forgettable. And, you know, like I was saying earlier, Modern Warfare 2 sold really well, but its player base dropped off quickly. And now we're getting Modern Warfare 3, 2 Modern Warfare games back-to-back, 2 years in a row, when Modern Warfare 2019 wasn't even that long ago anyways. People are going to get really burnt out on these modern Call of Duty games. And it has me a little bit worried. Now, I totally understand that Modern Warfare 3 might just be Modern Warfare 2 but better, but don't fall into the marketing trap. I'm seeing lots of people on Twitter right now being like, you know, Modern Warfare 3 is going to swing things around, and it just sounds like the same generic Call of Duty cycle. Every single year, new COD comes out, we like it for a week or two, then we start realizing the issues with the game. They stop doing regular updates. The game doesn't meet expectations. There starts being loads of bugs and issues found. You know, we start hating on it. Then, you know, springtime and going into autumn swings around. By that point, we're then talking about the next COD. It's going to turn things around and switch things around. And personally, another Modern Warfare game back-to-back that's going to be very similar to Modern Warfare 2 anyways, it just surely can't be the game to suddenly flip the script and save the franchise, you know? And by the way, the Call of Duty doesn't need to be saved. This is, you know, a hypothetical question that a lot of us pose. But when we say Call of Duty is dying or needs to be saved, we're mainly really talking about the online scene. Call of Duty is really successful. It's the best-selling game every single year. Modern Warfare 2 broke sales records. Even Vanguard, that sold, you know, worse than any Call of Duty over the past 10 years, it still was the best-selling game of the year. And that's with one of the worst-selling COD games. One of the worst COD games still outperforms any other game on the market. Call of Duty is just hugely popular. But when us, content creators, refer to the game, you know, dying down, we're mainly on about, of course, YouTube views and generally the sentiment surrounding the more hardcore community who is engaged with the online space. In a lot of our eyes, you know, the game is dying down, but in terms of the overall player base, there's, of course, millions and millions of people playing around the world that don't even engage online. And they must be having fun with it if they keep buying all of these microtransactions and making Activision record profits. And yeah, it does suck that that's the case. And a lot of us who have been playing Call of Duty for a lot longer feel very disenfranchised. Sorry to interject, but I just have a quick message to share with you before we continue with the rambly discussion. This video has been kindly sponsored by BlockMill, which is 100% free. This is a fresh new game platform, an exciting addition to the entertainment world with endless possibilities and opportunities for players to explore, create and share, where real estate meets the virtual world. It's launched in alpha, so they are looking for playtesters to help influence and better improve the direction of the game. Accessible anytime, anywhere. It's super convenient, able to be played from any device, allowing players to dive into the game wherever they are and seamlessly continue their progression. You can enjoy the immersive experience at your own convenience, making it the perfect game for on-the-go gaming sessions. From your phone, tablet, laptop, whatever the case may be, there are ownership and trading options that allow players to own any building in the world with the ability to acquire, trade and gift buildings, fostering a dynamic economy and encouraging social interactions among players. You can share links to your buildings with friends and the community, discuss the joy of showcasing your buildings and also liking others. The game has huge global reach, boasting over 1 billion buildings that can truly be owned by players. Enjoy the thrill of being a part of a vibrant and diverse community, where players can explore and appreciate buildings and address from all corners of the world. There are a plethora of customization options and fun missions. You have full creative freedom in BlockMill with the ability to customize buildings, adding skins, changing structure and applying billboards, engage in fun missions within the game which provide opportunities to earn upgrades and rewards, enhancing the gaming experience. So yeah, if this game sounds like something you want to explore, you can check it out for free via the link in the description and be an early alpha tester. Like I was saying, I think the past couple of years has been the most mediocre for Call of Duty. Both of these games have just done nothing special, Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2. There's not a single piece of content I can look at and be like, wow, that was a great innovation. Honestly, you know, there was a couple highlights in Vanguard, such as the Godzilla vs. Kong event I thought was pretty fun, and Shino Nuba Reborn was fun as well, but they're not exactly standout features, you know. They don't exactly, you know, it's not something we're going to be thinking about in 10 years fondly. You know, it's going to be something most of us have probably already forgotten about, unfortunately. With Modern Warfare 2, there's been literally nothing special at all. The campaign was decent. And then if we look post-launch, you know, multiplayer, mediocre. We look at Spec Ops, very mediocre, very bare bones, with barely any post-launch support. The raids, you know, they're okay, but they're kind of just do it once experiences. No motivation to play again. They're not really that enjoyable or replayable. We look at DMZ. DMZ's, I've seen, has got a lot of popularity. Out of everything from Modern Warfare 2, I think it's gotten the most popularity. But personally for me, DMZ just isn't for me. And personally, I think the mode is it's just very... It's just not good enough. Like I said, I think it's just quite mediocre at best. And even that mediocrity stands out amongst the rest of Modern Warfare 2, and that's why it's garnered, you know, somewhat of a fan base online. I see lots of YouTubers posting regular DMZ videos, you know, getting good views on them. Clearly there is interest there, but personally DMZ isn't for me. Like I said before, I check out the new content whenever it releases, and I am still engaged with the online community. You know, whenever there's anything surrounding Call of Duty news, I usually find out about it just by looking on Twitter and stuff like that. So if there's any leak or anything like that, I usually stay on top of it and know about it. And obviously I pay attention whenever there are any official Call of Duty announcements. However, I look at these leaks, I look at these announcements from Call of Duty, and every single time I don't even care. I'm not even interested. And that is why I've not been posting nowhere near as many videos. You know, I'll post whenever there's a seasonal blog post or something like that, and anything about the new content. And then when the new content releases, I mainly just focus on storyline stuff in regards to making videos. But I don't post regarding most of the leaks. I don't post regarding most of the updates like I used to do, because I look at them and I'm like, I don't actually care about this that much, or if at all. And then I'm going to have to force myself to make a video about it when I don't even really care about it. So... basically what I'm saying is I'm kind of just feeling very lost regarding the direction of my channel, because I'm still very interested in zombies. And of course, Zombies is returning this year with Modern Warfare 3, but it's going to be Outbreak 2.0. We have no idea how good it's going to be. I like the first iteration of Outbreak, but having Outbreak on its own without round-based, I don't know how that's going to be and how that's going to, you know, be sufficient content for an entire year. But I'm hoping that it's going to be a lot better, and then of course we'll have COD 2024 Zombies the following year, which I am very hopeful for, and I'm sure I'll be making lots of videos when those Zombies releases come out. Well, we'll just have to see how good Outbreak is this year. I know there's a lot of people worried you didn't like the first iteration of Outbreak, but personally I think it will be a lot better, and I like the first iteration anyway, so even if they gave, you know, just a bit better version than the first iteration, it'll still satisfy me. I just don't know if it'll be enough, considering the fact that it'll just be Outbreak on its own. You know, there might be other modes, maybe they'll have something like Onslaught, but as far as we're aware, It's just Outbreak. But yeah, I don't know. So in terms of my content right now, like I said before, I post whenever the storyline stuff. I'm still very interested in the lore. I will be having an entire Call of Duty Zombies storyline video, an updated video. It's over 3.5 hours long. That's going to span from World at War to Vanguard Zombies. And I'm going to have to slightly adjust it now that we know Outbreak is going to be back this year for Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. So I'll have to tweak it a little bit with, you know, what the storyline may be for that. But that should come out. I'm hoping maybe soon after it's officially revealed that Zombies is going to be in Modern Warfare 3 with Outbreak 2.0. When that's officially revealed, I'll then finish up the entire zombie storyline video. I was supposed to post it last year, last December. I've just procrastinated it so much, but it's probably for the best considering now we know Zombies is going to be back this year when previously we didn't. But yeah, in terms of content though, like I was saying, I will post whenever there's, you know, announcements, updates, and when the next COD gets revealed, Modern Warfare 3, I'll be talking about it, but I'm slowing down a lot in terms of making update videos, and I think I'm going to be changing my direction where I'm focusing more on story stuff. I've been posting lots of shorts about storyline stuff, and some of them have done really well, a lot of them haven't really done that well. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But I think I will be changing the direction of the channel where I'm going to be doing more storyline stuff and also more long form content, where I'll just be, you know, breaking things down, sharing maybe some opinions on past Call of Duties, and breaking down certain system mechanics. For example, one video I had in mind was doing like an entire video breaking down, you know, what was good about Cold War Zombies and how it innovated the system mechanics. Maybe that could be a fun retrospective video, taking a different route to other people's Cold War Zombies retrospective videos, and mainly focus on how much it innovated and changed the mechanics and why they worked as well, in terms of a statistic standpoint for how many people were playing. But yeah, like I said, this video is really rambly, so I apologize, it's been completely all over the place. But what I am also feeling right now with my channel is because obviously I'll be back to the regular content whenever Zombies comes back. But, you know, over the past couple of years, you know, Zombies wasn't great with Vanguard. We haven't even had Zombies the past year. And I suspect that Outbreak returning, you know, there'll be, of course, many videos to make on it, but it's not going to be anywhere near as many videos as you could make on Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4 Zombies, Cold War Zombies, because of the fact that it's probably just going to be Outbreak. And one thing I want to say is, although I think the past couple of years have been very, very lackluster, very mediocre, I think there's been nothing special in terms of Call of Duty, literally nothing memorable. Apart from, as I was saying, the campaign of Modern Warfare 2 has some memorable moments, and the characters themselves are very memorable and cool. Task Force 141 is, of course, iconic. And I think they were greatly portrayed in Modern Warfare 2, this reboot. But yeah, post-launch content has just not been memorable at all, and I don't think it's really a fault of the developers. A lot of people like to blame them, but I really think it's an issue with management over at Activision, maybe certain higher-ups at the studios at Infinity Ward, and vice versa with the other studios. But, you know, we've heard, you know, absolute horror stories come from Activision over the past couple of years about, you know, workplace misconduct, about how they've been overworked, and clearly there are just people, you know, in higher up positions that are a fault of poor structure in the company. The entire structure of the company needs to be completely rearranged, and I'd like to hope if Microsoft do buy them out that that'll change, but honestly, it'll probably stay relatively similar because, you know, they're just another big corporation taking over a smaller, well, not smaller, well, they are a smaller corporation, but it's just a massive, massive corporation taking over a smaller but still massive corporation. It's not exactly going to somehow fix all of the issues and the underlying issues and the culture at Activision just drastically due to an overnight switch like that. It's just not. It's going to be a long, arduous process if there's any changes with the workplace conditions at Activision. It's going to happen over, you know, decades, even at least years and years. But it's been good to see a lot of the Activision workers come together over the past couple of years, form a union, and it's been good to see them working together in solidarity to better their workplace. And I think because of that, you know, obviously workflow has probably been disrupted a lot, and that could be part of the reason as to why the content has been so mediocre over the past year. It just sucks that Activision are still seeing record sales, they're still seeing record profits, even when they poorly manage so much. And it just shows you that really, a lot of people like to think, oh, the biggest companies in the world, they must be doing something right to be making all of this money and be the most successful. But really, it all comes down to mostly corporate greed. And often when you look in the back end, a lot of these big companies, they kind of really mismanaged and just completely chaotic work and have a chaotic work environment, and yet they're still somehow raking in billions. And it just shows you that clearly there's something not working right if companies like Activision can be so poorly mismanaged, and they can be have horrendous workplace conditions. And just I've seen leaked documents from Activision before. Many have leaked online, and I've read through these documents, and they just look so unprofessional. It literally looks like someone's school project, some of it, and with weird notes all over the place and some rude remarks from higher ups referring to lower ups. Not lower ups, higher ups referring to lesser people in departments with derogatory language or just quite insulting. And I'm just like, this is the company that's the biggest in the gaming industry, or at least one of the biggest. It's just completely astounding that that this goes on. And of course there's been all of the sexual misconduct and stuff that we've learnt about over the past couple of years. And I'm hoping that of course gets a lot better. And but Bobby Kotick has literally just had an interview with Variety the other day, and he was literally just talking a load of shite, just spreading propaganda, trying to cover his ass, just being completely manipulative, not really, and he wasn't really even confronted by Variety. They didn't press him on the questions enough. They just let him spout these propaganda messages, blaming the unions, blaming other reasons for this, which, yeah, I don't know. I think the current problem with Call of Duty is the fact that Activision are poorly mismanaging Call of Duty so much, that the fact that they have a billion different studios working on every single Call of Duty game, so the games feel less unique. Instead of each studio, having their own particular taste, each game over the past couple of years, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare 2, they all feel relatively similar. They don't feel like unique experiences. You can't really exactly tell the difference. They're not unique experiences. And before, at least you had, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer a little bit, they all had their own unique flavor. Now every single COD feels identical, and it's just annoying. And I think because they have so many cooks in one kitchen, that is why the games are coming out such a mess. That is why fundamental features that have been in past Call of Duties for decades on launch, well, not decades, but over a decade, they would always be there on launch, are not there, such as combat records, leaderboards, etc. Pause feature in Zombies. So many fundamental issues aren't there on launch due to mismanagement. For example, with Vanguard Zombies, they had to completely redesign and reinvent all of the Zombies mechanics from the ground up. Because they were forced to then work on the Modern Warfare 2019 engine instead of Treyarch's engine, which, they're both modified versions of the same engine, but still, they had to, they were forced on Vanguard Zombies when Treyarch probably didn't really want to, and they had to rework these systems, and that's why fundamental features like Pause weren't there on launch, which I hope definitely needs to be there for Outbreak 2, and of course COD 2024 Zombies. And recently, of course, there's been the exploit where people are able to boot you off game in Black Ops Cold War and Modern Warfare 2019 as well. And older Call of Duties, Black Ops 3 and previous, all are not playable anymore because you can get hacked. Hackers can literally get your private information just for playing on the game. So content creators are completely screwed because now we can't even do old Black Ops 3 content. We literally can't do old Zombies content unless it's like Black Ops 2, solos only, World at War. But in terms of Black Ops 3 mod tools, it's completely ruined when people can boot you offline, and stuff like that. And, COD's just in a very desperate state right now, for sure. But I think the main premise and what I wanted to say regarding, the poor mismanagement from Activision is I think they're trying to do too much. They're trying to offer something in Call of Duty for literally everyone. We've got Warzone, the traditional Battle Royale. We then have Resurgence. We also have DMZ. They're trying to cater to Zombies fans as well. We have Campaign. We have Spec Ops. We have Raids. And there's just so many different things. And of course we have 6v6 multiplayer, and then also ground war battle maps multiplayer. So there's literally a billion different modes for a billion different types of players, but when we look at each individual mode, literally every single one is lacking. Every single one isn't grand, every single one isn't memorable, every single one isn't special, and that's because they're trying to do too much. For example, in Modern Warfare 2, if they said, you know what, we're not going to waste our time on Spec Ops, we're not going to waste our time on raids, we're not going to waste our time on DMZ, put all of that attention into creating some other mode, or in fact, let's say they did do DMZ, but let's put, all of the resources that have gone into raids and these other little side things all into DMZ, full focus on DMZ would be a lot better. But instead, everything is spread out across a billion different modes. When we look at Vanguard Zombies again, Treyarch's team was split up into working on Cold War Zombies, people probably working on the next Zombies game for COD 2024, then working on Vanguard Zombies, also working on Outbreak for this year's Modern Warfare 3. Their teams are being split up into a billion different factions. Of course, the modes are not going to turn out memorable or special when, the teams are just so spread out. Instead of focusing on a final few awesome experiences, they are trying to cater to everyone and trying to please everyone, they are pleasing no one. Well, I guess we can say that, but at the same time, they're making record profits, record sales, so clearly they're doing something right, and clearly they're making freaking a lot of money, and clearly a lot of people are playing them, so I just don't know. I guess people are just eating up absolute pace nowadays, because these games have been bland as freaking desaturated milk. I have no idea, like, literally. All of these experiences, Modern Warfare 2 and Vanguard, have just been so incredibly bland, so yeah. Like I said, as a Zombies content creator, I'm a bit unsure, what exactly to post, and I guess we'll have to wait and see when Outbreak swings around this year and when COD 2024 Zombies swings around. But I think I definitely need to take a new direction with the channel, as I was saying, longer form videos, but I think I should also try and delve into doing other types of content, maybe on new channels. There's various different things I've thought about, doing reviews and analytical essay type videos on films and just shows that I like. I've thought about doing even wildlife type oriented content, because that's actually how I got into YouTube, but yeah, that's for another day. And there's various different ideas that I've had. Personally though, I don't want to do something else gaming related. If I wasn't to do Call of Duty Zombies, or just Call of Duty in general, I don't want to cover another game. People obviously mention the fact that my name's obviously the Gaming Revolution. I can play any game, I don't have to stick to Call of Duty, but personally, even though my name is literally the Gaming Revolution, I don't honestly even play games really at all. And I think a big part of that is the fact that obviously I focused my channel around Call of Duty, and in focusing my channel around Call of Duty, I spend so much time mainly just making the videos, editing them, putting them together, doing the sponsorship stuff, etc, that I then have no time to play other games, because in my spare time I play Call of Duty to record gameplay for those videos, and then in my spare time I don't want to then play Call of Duty even more. But I don't want to play another game either, so I don't even have time to play other games. But I'm not even really that fond of gaming anymore in general. I was when I was younger, but I've kind of gone off on it a little bit. I think that was partially because I made my whole channel about, Call of Duty, and then, I honed in on that so much. It drained all of my energy and excitement surrounding games, away from, other games. And like I said, I just don't physically even have the time to play other games, because when I'm not editing, I don't want to then be, working on, playing another game. I spend so much time at a screen, editing and doing other stuff YouTube related, that I don't want to be spending, staring at a screen even longer. I'd rather spend my time, with friends or family, or doing something that's more of a communal experience, as opposed to even more stuff that's very similar to what I'm doing regarding YouTube anyways. So if I was to do another channel, like I said, I would make it maybe about films or TV related stuff, not about games or other interests I have. But yeah, I don't know. My name is the Gaming Revolution, but I personally don't think your name needs to dictate what you post on your channel. I can post whatever I want, but I think if I was to do other stuff, I would definitely put it on a different channel. This will probably just stay to Call of Duty, to being Call of Duty related. I'd assume so. I think I'm always going to be interested in Call of Duty Zombies. You know, even if I'm not interested in it gameplay wise, I'm always going to be interested in the story. So I think, you know, storyline videos are always going to be something you can expect on this channel for Call of Duty, but I think everything else is a bit dead in the water. But yeah, I think Activision have just been mismanaging Call of Duty, and that's why everything they've had to offer over the past couple of years has been so bland. Because they've got a billion different studios, like I said, working on a billion different modes. Of course, the experiences are not going to be that great when they're just so spread out, and most of these modes end up just being marketing things. For example, you know, they got us all hyped for the raids, they got us all hyped for, you know, Spec Ops returning or DMZ, and then they came out and they're just like, meh, you know, I'll play a few times, move on. They're not particularly bad, but they're not particularly amazing and outstanding either. You know, when you compare DMZ to, you know, the heights of Call of Duty Zombies, or even something like Extinction, they're not even comparable. The grandeur of zombies and stuff, you know, like the Horizon Drag blowing up the moon, or blowing up the Earth on Moon, you know, or a map like Origins with the staffs and all that epicness that was going on. These are just, there's nothing else comparable. There's nothing to that level being produced nowadays. We had a little bits in Cold War Zombies. But yeah, like I said, I am really rambling right now, so I do apologize for that. So I'm just going to end this video. Thank you for everyone listening, and I apologize for it being so rambly. Like I said, these are just my general thoughts, and I've kind of just presented them in this video in a very messy way, just sort of spilling them all out like freaking vomit, because I can't contextualize and concisely structure my brain, I guess, to relay my thoughts in a more mannered way. I could have scripted it, but I just thought this would be a better way to do so. General gist, you know, kind of not been posting much over the last couple of years. Call of Duty hasn't been in a great spot, particularly as a zombies creator. I'm not really that interested in posting anything right now unless it's regarding storyline for Call of Duty. You know, I'll post regarding any major Call of Duty news, but I'm doing a lot less update videos. I don't really cover anywhere close to what I used to. I used to be on top of everything. This would be the channel where you go for all your information. Now it no longer is, because I'm not interested, unfortunately. And I think a lot of you watching are also not interested as much as you used to be in all things Call of Duty. So I'm hoping Outbreak this year in Modern Warfare 3 is good, and that'll rejuvenate my interest in zombies. At least I'll be covering all the storyline stuff for it, of course, which I'm excited for, and I'll be covering all the Easter eggs and blah blah blah. But yeah, in terms of other videos for Modern Warfare 3, I probably won't be covering much, apart from storyline, campaign related stuff. And yeah, I guess we're all just waiting for COD 2024 Zombies, for the zombies community to hopefully come back together and have a big comeback. But in the meantime, stuff is dry, stuff is hard, stuff is stale. That sounds wrong, but yeah, lots of people in the comments are just saying, you know, how tough it must be to make zombies content right now. And I've never been a gameplay channel. If you're a gameplay channel, it might be a bit different. You can play custom zombies, you know, you can go back to old zombies experiences and play them. But because I've always only just covered the latest stuff regarding news, information, storyline stuff, Easter eggs, you know, when there's not actual new content, and when I'm not interested in the current Call of Duty offerings, DMZ and other modes, pointless modes that are being released, you know, for example, DMZ and raids, like I said, the modes just feel really pointless. I'm sorry if you like them, but genuinely, I'm really interested in the lore for like raids. By the end of the day, I feel like the Call of Duty resources are just being wasted on raids, when I don't think many people are even playing them. They might just play it once or twice, then never touch them again. And I just feel like all of these resources and all these little modes could have been put into better use and just focusing all on one mode, whether it be DMZ or a zombies experience or something like that. But anyways, that's everything I wanted to talk about. Thank you for watching the video. Sorry for it being so rambly and all over the place. And apologies for less content over the past couple of years, but I hope you understand. It's just COD's just not been in a great place. I'm not going to force myself to make videos I don't really care about. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Hopefully it's something I'm actually excited about.